Good afternoon, wherever you may be in this world. My name is Matthew and this is Riverponics. Today I'm going to teach you a little bit about worms and earthworm castings. This is a biology of a worm. There at the tip is the mouth. Then you have the prostomium. That is the lips. That's what senses the food for the worms. The worms do not have eyes nor teeth. So that's how they feed. Then you have the larynx, esophagus, the crop, the gizzard. Then you have the intestine. Worms are 70% water. Some bullet points. Science is dumbfounded and it's a mystery of how and or why nutrients increase when digested through a worm. And actually the nutrient is increased tenfold through digestion. They've done a study on the Nile River wondering why plants do so well in that area. And what they found out was there's millions upon billions of worms in the soil. That's why that soil is so fertile and why plants do so well. And believe it or not, Cleopatra mandated the preservation of worms, declaring them sacred and a necessary microorganism or organism that needs to coexist with man. We could not exist on this planet without worms. Chemicals on fields destroys the biology for worms, thus depleting the soil from natural restoration. Worms do not like the chemicals we use today. Monsanto should understand this. You got poor soil, we have poor health. Worms are necessary biology for soil restoration. Questions on worms. Do worms have teeth? The answer is no. Do worms need oxygen? Yes, worms do need oxygen. Worms can survive under submerged water as well for an extended period of time. How long do worms live? Typically, worms can live up to 12 to 18 months. How often do worms reproduce? About every 30 days. One cocoon will hold as many as 20 eggs. Only 3 to 4 worms survive typically. Do worms need moisture? Yes, worms do need moisture, but oversaturation is not a good thing, specifically in a worm box. So you don't want to take your soil, a handful of it, and squeeze it and be able to wring out water. You just want that damp enough to keep your worms happy. What's the desired pH level for your worm box? Typically 7 is your pH level that's desired. However, they can tolerate levels 4.2 to 8. Adding calcium carbonate and bedding to correct acidity is a good method. Eggshells also helps balance the pH levels. Note, limestone only. Do not use hydrated lime. This will kill your worms. How much food to feed them per week? A worm can eat half its body weight per day. So good ratio is 2 to 1. Example, 2 pounds of worms equals 1 pound of food. What type of bedding can be used? Peat moss, compost, shredded paper, and leaves. Things in that nature would do just fine. Just remember to keep it simple. What type of food? Table scraps, vegetation, plant-based, eggshells, coffee grinds, items described below with the leaves and the compost and the peat moss, tea bags. Some things not to feed your worms. Do not feed them meat. They do not like greasy things. Certain citrus fruits are not desirable, and dairy products. All right, so that kind of gives you a little rundown of a biology of a worm and the do's and don'ts of establishing a worm box. Now I do have a worm box, and I'll show you what I have going on in here. I just have a screen over this. A lot of people use newspaper. They wet it down, keep it moist. I just have a screen in there, so that way they get plenty of oxygen. Now you want to, on your lid, you can see I got, small holes in there for oxygenation. And so what worms do, these are red wigglers I have in here, but what they do is they come up to the surface to feed. And you can see I have celery and banana peels, and there's paper in here. And I put coffee grinds, and there's compost. And now I can peel this back a little bit just to give you an idea. Let's see where all these worms are. Now you can see, let me get a good handful here. They all tuck away once I start peeling stuff back. But they're all up at the top. Let's see if I can't dig down a little deeper. They're down in there. And they're just slowly turning all that food waste to a nice soil. It's a beautiful thing, and you can see, get another grip here, look at all those worms there. See all of them? But this soil, you can see kind of gauged by my hand, it's moist and it's sticking to my fingers, so it's a little sticky. But there is absolutely no smell to this container. It's pretty miraculous actually how these worms work in this box and break down the material and produce a highly rich soil for you, for your plants and everything. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you can do. Now harvesting your worm castings, obviously you can do like a stackable container. So you take a container like this and you let them digest all this food. Then you would place another container inside of here and drill some decent sized holes in the bottom of it and start putting food in that second container, and the worms are going to work their way up into that second container and ultimately will empty out of your first box, and then all you have in your first box is worm castings. So that's one way of doing it. There's what they call flow through worm boxes. There's a lot of things online you can look at. I do have a local farmer here that I've sourced that raises worms, and he uses African night crawlers, which similar to a red wiggler. They're really good eaters kind of thing. So that's what he uses. He has close to 6 to 10 million worms. And I can show you, this is his product, and I have been given permission to resell this. Now this is Refuge Soil, but he also offers pure worm castings. So the Refuge Soil, which is this here, is a mix of peat moss, African nightcrawler worm eggs, and worm castings. So it's a really good amendment for adding to your soil. All right. Likewise, the worm castings too. But this will have the actual worm eggs in there. So if you bought this and put this out in your garden or amended it to your soil, you're going to be hatching some worms. And that would be a great thing for your soil. All right. Now I will show you what the soil looks like. I'll try to get a good shot at it. I know the lighting's not so great here, but this is some really nice stuff. Really nice and rich stuff. Alright, now this is available for sale, and we package it in 30-pound bags. This would be an 8-pound bag, and then the two combined is 16. So we do 8-pound, 16-pound, and 30-pound bags we offer. And we are selling those right now for, there's the prices. And note that we do not bag this until an order is placed, and then we ship it out immediately. We want our compost to be, or excuse me, our worm castings to be nice and fresh for you. So that kind of gives you an idea. I don't have this on the website yet, but it will soon be. But if you want to email me or call me, we can place an order in that fashion, and we can get this shipped out to you. So yeah, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Riverponics.com is the website. There you go. You can visit and see the grow systems we offer, and more things to come. I'm actually working with a guy that has developed a organic liquid fertilizer that's chicken poop derived with plant extract, terpenes, and some other, and H3O water. It wasn't, I did not say H2O, I said H3O water. It's an added molecule. And I've been using this stuff, and I'll do a video on it. But it's, I'm having really good results with it. And it is 100% organic. So that's the theme we're trying to capture here. Trying to get back to the basics, trying to get back to organic gardening, and for optimum health. So, all right, take care. Thank you.